Welcome back to the POD Sports Zone with yours truly and Coach Joe. Coach, welcome in today. Any opening thoughts?
Hey, we're going to get into the running backs. These guys there's a lot that we're going to talk about, a lot of different aspects that pertain to them as to where they get drafted, where they fall, where they rise. We'll talk about trends in the NFL right now. And don't go away because we've got the running backs coming up.
That's right. And we'd like to welcome you into the zone. We're going to get into it. That's next.
No, we're not doing right.
This is Hazy Cheesy here. We would like to invite you to
Philippine On Demand every Saturday, 11 p.m. Filipino time.
Philippine On Demand Sports Zone every Saturday, 11 p.m. Philippine time. Be there.
Working one-on-one with 4, with 3, with 2 on the clock. Kobe! Here goes Barry Sanders. He's gone.
Clicking for their second power play goal of the year.
There's a breaking ball in for a strike, and he stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by.
One of the great announcers in baseball, or used to be, now in the Hall of Fame, Ernie Harwell of the Detroit Tigers. Not to be confused with Coach Joe. Coach, this is your baby. This is all you today. I didn't even come up with a top 10 list because if I do that, then I open the door for you to take jabs at mine. So now I can just sit back, cross my arms, and take shots at yours. So
I would expect absolutely nothing less from you.
all right.
Nothing less. So hey, I gotta talk about that intro.
Yeah.
So was that Hazy? Is that Hazy Cheesy?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's obviously a soccer player. And when I say soccer player, I don't mean goalie because she's not very good with her hands catching that ball. Clearly a soccer player. So great to see her on there and just messing with you a little bit. I'm sure that you probably are a soccer player and no worries. Don't take a flop. Those soccer players like to take a flop once in a while. Bill was a big flopper in his day.
I was a flopper. Okay, Coach. I'll get you later. Let's kick this off.
All right.
No pun intended, with number 10. It's all you. Demetric Felton. You're number 10 on the top 10, 5'8", 189 pounds from UCLA. What can you tell us about Demetric, Coach?
Yep. So he didn't play a normal season. They were one of the conferences that, with the COVID, they had a smaller amount of football games, but came into it and did get to play some, but not a normal season. He only played 6 games. He didn't have a lot of touches in his 4-year career at UCLA, and so just 233 total career carries. So some might think, well, that might not be a good thing. For running backs, because they do carry the ball so much, if you're carrying the ball like a running back, you're getting hit on every single play. That's just the way the game works.
Right.
So that's good. That means he's fresh. That means he's got a lot more carries in him, and that's a good thing. One thing that the NFL scouts look at, no fumbles for Felton. No fumbles. I will be talking about fumbles for guys as we go through this. They don't like the guys that cough the ball up and turn it over.
Yeah.
He is underrated. He's a later pick, probably. He has potential to be productive. He's really good out of the backfield, meaning that he can release into the flat and run passing routes. He had 55 catches in 2019, which is a lot for a back out of the backfield. He reminds us a lot of Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson's a guy that really came on in the NFL this year, kind of a hybrid player. He has the ability to possibly come into somebody's team and even play wide receiver. He could play in the slot, out of the backfield. So I like this kid. Another one that if you go to UCLA, it means that you've got some smarts to you. And he's just 5'8", 189 pounds. But he's definitely a guy that I think is going to latch on with somebody and might be a really good third down back.
Yeah. Now, he does have the skill set that is very valuable in the National Football League, and they do play him, Coach. They split him out wide. Due to his size, though, is there a concern with you, Coach, due to his size and pass blocking?
So here's the thing. You're automatically going to look at his size, 5'8", 189 pounds. That's not very big for a football player.
Right.
A good coaching staff, when they bring him in, do you really think that's the guy they're going to bring in to sit and pass block? I don't think so. They're going to bring that guy. They're going to play him in the slot. They're going to release him out of the backfield. They're going to try to get him lined up on a linebacker one-on-one. He's not coming into pass block. I really like your question. If they're bringing this guy into pass block, they've made a mistake. There's somebody else on your roster that can do that.
Yeah, good point. Actually, very good point. Now, does he have the speed? We know he has the quickness. There's a difference between speed and quickness. Does he have the speed maybe to platoon and become a kick returner in the National Football League?
Sure, without a doubt. With his skill set, so there's speed, and then there's what we call football speed. So if you want to make a comparison, you have a hockey player. He might not be the fastest guy on the rink, but where the puck's at, he gets to the puck fast. He understands angles. He's fast on the ice. There is a thing called football speed. This guy has football speed, and that a lot of the football speed is mentality, know where you're going and how you're going to get there. He's got it. I have him ranked number 10. I do like this kid.
Very good. All right. So with that, that takes us, Coach, to number 9 on your top 10. We've got Kylan Hill, Mississippi State, 5'10", 214. What's the word on him, Coach?
So he only played in 3 games this past season. He opted out. He rushed in 2019 in his full season. He rushed for 1,300 yards. Only 6 touchdowns. That's not a big deal. The 1,300 yards is nice. His 3.5-year career, no fumbles. Once again, I told you I'm going to talk about fumbles. You like those guys that carry the ball and they don't fumble. The defense's goal, the defense has one objective every single time they line up, and that is to get the ball back for the offense. A lot of people think the defense's goal is to tackle the guy with the guy with the ball. Mm-hmm. The reality is the defense is trying to get the ball back for the offense, and a part of that is tackling. And this guy doesn't give the ball back to the defense. One thing that the NFL is going to like is that he has no fumbles. He's also good out of the backfield. This is a guy that caught 67 balls in receptions. He's a good blocker. And that is a plus. We just talked about Felton, really not his thing, not a big deal. This is a guy that can come in on third down and also protect the quarterback. He's strong running in traffic. That's a huge plus. You talked about quickness. He has elite quickness. When I use the word elite, that is a special term, elite quickness. He's really explosive off his cuts. So when this guy puts his foot on the ground, he's going to get fifth gear really fast. He has really good vision. So when you talk about elite quickness, he's going to put his foot in the ground and he's going to cut hard with great vision. That's going to make up for some of his speed. Not the fastest guy, but those other 3 qualities are going to make up for his speed. He'll jump cut. He'll spin. He has a good stiff arm. He'll tend to hurdle some guys. Stays up running because of his physical talent. This is a guy that knows I'm not going to get tackled. I'm going to do whatever I have to do not to get tackled. He's ready to play football.
Coach, that's going to bring us to the Ohio State running back. Trey Sermon, 6 feet, 213 pounds. What's the word on him?
He's got a great smile. Look at that. Look at the smile on that guy. You got to like that right there.
Oh, yeah. He's got that smile like he knows something that we don't.
That is a great way to describe it. I like that a lot.
You know?
So this kid played 1 year with Ohio State. He was a transfer. He played at another big-time football program. He played at Oklahoma for 3 years. Why he transferred? I'm not sure. I really don't know. Transferring, great move for me. Production at Oklahoma was absolutely unbelievable. Transferred to Ohio State, and all they did was play for a national championship. So good move on his part. He had a ton of playing time, like I said, at Oklahoma. This kid had 455 carries, almost 3,000 yards, 48 receptions, about 500 yards through the air, 26 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns. This kid's a football player. He had 331 yards in the Big Ten championship. 331.
Wow.
Bill, that's more than you had in your career. 331 yards, one game.
Yeah. That's just maddening when you think about it.
Yeah, in one game.
Now, go ahead. I got a question.
So I was just going to say, great stat in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
In the semifinal, playing against Clemson, good football school, really good football school, a lot of talent, a lot of NFL talent. Right. 193 yards in a semifinal game.
Wow.
Impressive. So one of the things on this kid is when you turn the lights on in the big games, this is the guy that produces. Yeah. So you got to like that about him. He does have some injury history. He's got a shoulder problem. He's had some knee issues. So with those, he could move up the board based on who he is. He could move down the board based on some of those injuries. A team like Pittsburgh absolutely should be looking at this kid.
The fact that he transferred and went to Ohio State, Master Teague III was kind of like the lead guy going into the season, and they were pretty much sharing carries like halfway through the year. And then, as you said, as they were making a run toward a championship, he separated himself. When you're sharing carries, does that hurt you as a player as far as trying to, drive your stock up in the draft?
I don't think so, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
If this guy's a team player, it's a long season. Last year, the season's a little bit different. They're in meetings room with these guys every day. They're in individual time with these guys. All these guys have talent. They absolutely have talent. The way that I could describe this is I feel like I have some talent, but you're getting a lot of carries. Bill's getting a lot of carries. Bill's getting a lot of screen time here. I could pout and say, hey, I'm better, but I got to share the screen with Bill. So, and happily I do. And together that makes us both better. And honestly, a lot of these guys are so close. And if the coaches are doing a great job, they understand it. It's better for your body. And in the NFL right now, there is no workhorse anymore. That went away a long time ago. You will share carries in the NFL, and I think that does nothing more than keep you healthy and keep you prepared to play in an NFL system. So I'm going to keep sharing carries with you, Bill. I'm good with it. I'm good.
You know what? And I really appreciate that, Coach.
You're the guy. You're the smash mouth guy that's just going to pound it at him for about 3 yards. Yeah. I got the quickness and the vision and the speed, and I plant my foot and I really go. And I'm the fast guy. You're the thunder. I'm the lightning, and we make it go.
Somebody out there likes fast guys.
FDG.
Filipina Desert Gardener. She likes fast guys.
That's what I've heard, and I'm a fast guy, so I really appreciate that. You're the thunder, I'm the lightning, and we're going to talk about some more guys that she's going to really like too, because we got some fast guys coming up here.
A mid-round prospect, is that kind of what you see out of this guy?
Yeah, I think so. The crazy thing with the NFL is you will see guys not get picked, and you sit there and you wonder, why didn't they get picked? Why didn't they get picked? There is a trend in the NFL. You don't have to go get guys early. You can get them in the 4th round. You can get them in the 5th round. There's examples all over the league. The Green Bay Packers' best 2 running backs the last 2 and 3 years were both drafted in the 4th and 5th round. You don't have to reach and go in the first round anymore. You
Yeah.
get these guys behind a good offensive line and a good system, they're just going to be productive. So
Absolutely.
I think this is one of those guys. Where he's going to go, I'm not sure, but they're getting a football player.
There you go. All right. And with that, that brings us to number 7 on Coach Joe's top 10 countdown. We've got the 6', 280 pounder out of Oklahoma State, Chuba Hubbard. What can you tell us about Chuba, Coach?
So this is one of the guys that I happen to be a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of this kid for a lot of reasons. I only have him ranked number 7. I really wanted to rank him higher. To me, he's one of those guys that he could go higher depending how things go for him and the system that he's in. He could go lower. If you watch College Game Day on Saturday mornings here, that's one of my favorite programs. They really break down football and football fans and just love everything about college football. These guys that do that program absolutely love this kid, and I do too. So he's a Canadian player.
Well,
he's not a U.S. player. He's from Canada.
Wow.
He was recruited all over the U.S. A highly recruited player out of Canada. He's my star pick out of this group. 3,500 yards rushing, 500 receiving, 31 touchdowns, 28 kick returns. So you got to like that about him. Here's a guy that can make a roster because he can do kick returns. 28 kick returns for 550 yards. So he came out after his junior year. This kid's a first-team All-American. I think that says a lot right there all by itself. The kid's a first-team All-American. Oklahoma State used 3 backs in 2020. He was one of 3,000 backs. So his production went down, but that doesn't hurt. Great speed. He can make guys miss. It tends to go down easy on contact, but he does guys make them miss with his feet. He's elusive. He needs a team that plays 3 and 4 wide. Then that way they can give him the ball in shorter spaces, less tacklers, and he's going to be really productive. Some teams that should be taking a look at him, 49ers and their system, the Bills, the Chargers would be really good fits for him. Heck of a football player. And he's fast, FDG. He's fast. There's another one of those fast guys. And FDG likes that. So these guys are all pretty fast. So this is your show. This is your show right here. You're going to like this one. You play running back in the NFL, you've got some speed.
This show is being brought to you by Filipina Desert Gardener. And you are watching the Sports Zone.
Josan, this is Hong Kong Explorer all the way from Hong Kong, and I am inviting you all guys to please hang out with Bill and Joe on Sports Zones every Saturday night, 11 p.m. Philippines time. What are you waiting for? Don't miss it. Be there.
What are you waiting for? Don't miss it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Great?
I love that.
Hong Kong Explorer. Thank you very much for the shout out. That's Hong Kong Explorer, one of our friends in the YouTube community. And we're going to change all of our fine folks here, into football fans, Joe. One of the goals of the program, try to recruit more football fans. You can never go wrong with that.
Absolutely. It's a program. It's just part of the program.
Yeah, it's part of the process, as they say. All right. That's going to take us to an interesting guy, if you will, Jarrett Patterson. Jarrett Patterson, number 6 on Coach's top 10, 5'9", 195 pounds, kind of a small guy, Coach.
All right, so be careful calling this guy a small guy because he will run past you. He will make you look stupid and you'll fall backwards on your heels. This guy will run over you. This is a small school guy. I got to tame myself down a little bit with this one. I think his upside is absolutely through the roof. I really, really liked. I gave him a star. I gave him an asterisk. I really like this guy. Just an amazing career. Great production. He did get a lot of carries, 636 carries, about 4,000 yards, 52 touchdowns. He didn't catch the ball out of the backfield a lot, just 20 for 270 yards. I think that's okay. Not everybody in the NFL has to be a 3-down back. This is a guy that can play on first down and second down. So, 8 touchdowns in one game. Now, some of that might be a little bit about their opponent, but I don't care who you are. You have 8 touchdowns in one game. I don't care if you're playing flag football and you're in the 3rd grade. Obviously, they couldn't deal with you. They couldn't deal with your abilities. 8 touchdowns in one game. That's pretty awesome. He led all of college football with an average of 178 yards, 178 per game. Wow. Absolutely amazing. In that same another stat for you, he was 3rd in all of college football with 7.8 yards, almost 8 yards per rush. He had 1,000 yards in just 6 games. So he was the MAC Player of the Year, playing in the MAC Conference. What does that mean? The MAC Conference is wide open football, absolutely wide open. They move the ball. They score a lot of touchdowns. The MAC's a lot of fun to watch because they play several nights a week, and a lot of those games go 42 to 45. Very entertaining. He's a 2000 preseason All-American, playing at Buffalo. I think that says a ton right there by itself. One of my favorite things about this kid, he won the leadership award. He was a leadership award winner. I like that kid. That's the type of kid I want in my practice. That's the type of kid I want in my locker room. I think that says a lot. 4 years of production. The list of records, I only mentioned a few. Far too long. This kid's records are absolutely off the chart. If you want to know anything about Jarrett Patterson, go to YouTube. Just start watching. You're going to fall in love with this kid. He's very impressive. He's fast, cuts well. He's one of those guys that would do really well in a zone blocking scheme. And what I mean by that is the offensive line all blocks in one direction, and they are to cut off anybody that crosses in front of their face. Any defender that crosses in front of them, offensive line is supposed to immediately make contact with them. He's going to get the ball. He's going to run in that same direction, and then he's going to use his vision to slash and look back and find the hole. And when he goes, he's going to hit that really hard.
Gone.
I don't know if you can tell. I really like this kid.
I can see that, Coach. He's a freak athlete. I mean,
like him a lot.
Yeah, he's freaky athletic. Explosive, cutting ability, jump cuts, you name it. I agree with you. I'm on board with you. And we did have a question in the zone from the previous week. Somebody had asked me. Hazy Cheesy, check out the Rileys, Marty Duffy, Pinoy Hoy, the Hopsters. They were all in there. And they heard it. They witnessed it. FDG asked, hey, is Coach Joe as tall as you? All right. I think by looking at the screen, we can, I think looking at the screen, we already know the answer to that question. But you know what? I don't let anybody fool you. This guy, he can bring the thunder and the lightning. You don't want to see the thunder.
I'm one of those guys. I'm going to use my quickness. I'm going to run away from you. If I have to cut back into your chest, I'm going to run you over. I've got that football speed. I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I'm a football player, and if you try to tackle me, I might take a bite out of your thigh, out of your shin. Yeah, I might bite you too.
Yeah. Hey, Dan Campbell, coach of the Lions, would love you. They'd be fighting kneecaps over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So with that, and I don't know how that segues us into Michael Carter, but with that, number 5 on Coach Joe's top 10 countdown. Now you want to talk about, I'm not going to call him a little guy, okay? I learned that a guy ago. 5'7", 202 pounds out of UNC. Michael Carter. Coach, what's the word on this cat?
So what's really cool about Michael Carter is he split time this year with another back from North Carolina. When I say split time, they have two backs. He is my number 5. They have another back that we're going to talk about who's ranked even higher than him.
Right.
5'7", 202. So he's not real tall. Doesn't matter. We talked about lightning and thunder. This is lightning. The other guy's the thunder that we're going to talk. Both these guys, phenomenal football players.
Right.
Both of these guys, had they been the feature back, are both Heisman football candidates if they weren't sharing carries. But I'm going to tell you about him. Like I said, lightning, highly recruited. He led his team in touchdowns as a freshman and a 3-back system. When he was a freshman, they had 3 backs. The other 2, by the way, they went into the NFL draft and were selected. 300 yards and 2 scores against Miami. He's super smooth runner, really good directional cuts. He's elusive, and not only is he elusive, you're going to see right here, he'll run away from you. So he's going to make those cuts, and then he's going to run away from you. Catches the ball really well. He understands getting open on the route. And what I mean about that is not everybody understands what the route is about. This is the guy that understands when he's running a route, he understands why he's running it, and he understands how to get open and why he's supposed to get open as a result of running that route. I love that part about him. Understands the game really well. He's hard to tackle, not a great pass blocker, but who cares? Don't bring him into pass block. Bring him in to get him the football. Find ways to get this guy the football. Good team fits for him. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Arizona Cardinals, the Chiefs. Chiefs aren't going to reach up and grab him real early because they took a running back last year in the end of the first round. The Giants also have Shaquan Barkley, who's going to be a phenomenal football player, first-round draft pick, but a great compliment to him as well. The New England Patriots have a lot of use for a guy like this, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So a lot of teams, this guy's going to be on their radar. Comparison to him, I don't know if everybody recalls James White when Atlanta played New England in the Super Bowl here a few years back. James White honestly should have been the MVP of that football game. They gave it to Tom Brady because Tom Brady's quarterback, but James White was absolutely unstoppable. I think he had 3 touchdowns. He ran the ball. He caught the ball. He scored 2-point conversions. Really good comparison is somebody like James White. Whatever you want him to do, this kid can do it for you.
Absolutely. And these 2 kids remind me of the Wisconsin Badgers going back to Barry Alvarez's day when they had the Thunder and Lightning, you know, with Ron Dane and that other kid. His name eludes me right now. But they was fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good running backs there. But
absolutely.
He does fit that mold, and James White was one of those guys that came out of Wisconsin, and he's one of those guys. He's going to make your roster. He's going to work hard. Whatever you want him to do, this kid's out of the same mold. You want to throw me the ball. You want me to draw. You want me to screen. Yeah, very productive.
Yeah. Now, I think about the only thing that I read on him, Coach, is that you know, his lack of size. He doesn't have the body mass to absorb the direct contact, you know, the hits. But there again, you know, I mean, put him in a situation to where he can win the matchup. You know, it's kind of like Coach Dan said, you put your best guy on their worst guy. And if you don't put him in those kind of matchups, you know, maybe run him down there in the slot, you know, obviously a kick returner. The other thing is, from what I research, is that he needs to work on his vision to be able to identify the lanes in which he's running through. But yeah, I agree. Great kid, day 2 or an early day 3 draft pick. You're watching The Zone with Bill and Joe. Any further thoughts on this guy before we go on to your next one?
Yeah, I like what you said about they think that he might be a little bit lean. So he's been a college football player. So now he's going to be a professional football player. What that means is every part of his life, he's already been watching his diet. He's been lifting, but he's been going to school. He's got other. So now he's going to come in to a football program who are going to say, this is what we're going to expect out of you this year. This is what we're going to expect out of you in the next 2 years. He's going to live, eat, and drink football. He's going to gain weight. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get smarter. Yeah. He'll be fine. He'll be real good.
Okay, with that, number 4. That brings us to Kenneth Gainwell of Memphis, 5 feet 11, 191 pounds. What's his story?
So this is another guy that I'm really big on and I think has a tremendous upside. He opted out to play in 2020. I think you just said 5'11", 195. He's another one of those guys when he's playing professional football and that's his job day in and day out. I think it's going to be really easy to put some more weight on him. He was the top all-purpose offensive player in the nation in 2019. So what that means by all-purpose, that means he led the entire nation catching the ball, running the ball, returning the ball. This kid has some tremendous skills. He had 1,500 yards, 610 reception yards in 2019, 16 touchdowns, again, no fumbles. He played quarterback in high school. And what that means is he has a really good understanding of what the other 10 guys on the football field are doing. He's a great guy to catch screen passes. He can play wide receiver in the slot. He's a really good route runner. He's got really good hands, catch the ball. All very intriguing to the NFL. Opting out, once again, does that hurt you? Does it not hurt you? Regardless of where this guy gets picked, that's another guy that for a year didn't have his body get pounded on. He's fresh. He's fresh. He's going to be ready to go. So we'll see if he added some weight. There is opting out to play that last year. He was working out, obviously. He may have added some weight to his body that we don't know about yet. He's explosive. He's strong. Good vision. Something about this kid, he uses his blocks. When I say uses his blocks, he uses all of them at the line of scrimmage. If his wide receivers are blocking downfield, he's one of those guys that's going to stay in and cut behind those blocks.
Right.
He had 6 games where he had 100 yards, 6 consecutive games where he had 100 yards per game, 307 all-purpose yards in one game, and in 2019, from the line of scrimmage, he was 4th in the nation from yards from line of scrimmage. So another really talented kid. Didn't get a lot, no playing time this year. A weird year. We got a lot of kids that are probably really itching to play football. And some of these training camps, they're going to get after it. They're going to be, these guys can't wait to get in there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like you say, good vision, very elusive. The thing that I really like about him, that's intriguing, Coach, is the fact that he played quarterback. And that tells me something. That tells me that he's a smart kid. And he's going to be able to lock on to the playbook. He has a feel for the game. He has a feel for not only what he has to do now as a running back, but also he has a feel for what his teammates around him do. And I think that will benefit him very well at the next level.
Without a doubt. And I spoke about how much I like College Game Day. College Game Day staff, they were really big on this kid. They really liked him. They were one of them that said, hey, you're not going to get to see a lot of Memphis football games, but if you get the chance to watch Memphis play, Kenneth Gainwell is a guy that you need to see play football. Really big on him. I think that says a lot. Those guys are experts at what they do. They're just so honest with how they break guys down. And when they say something like that, that means you should probably watch this kid play.
See him going day 2, perhaps in the 4th round.
Yep.
All right. And that, Coach, will bring us to number 3 on your list, 5'10", 225 pounds, Javonte Williams, UNC.
Yep. So here's our second of the UNC backs. We had number 3. We had number 5. So we talked about lightning. This guy now is thunder. This guy loves contact. What I mean by that is he will find you on the football field and he'll run right at you and he will run you over. So Walter Payton is a guy who we all know, Hall of Famer. Walter wasn't afraid to make contact with you. He'd dip his shoulder down and he'd make contact with you. He'd run you over. I'm not the only one making comparisons. Other comparisons, Jim Brown. Now, we're not saying Jim Brown completely as a football player. Jim Brown didn't shy away from contact. Watch this. I got that for you. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just going to run you over. Marshawn Lynch played for Seattle, won a Super Bowl there. Same type of guy. I can run by you. I can run around you. I really want to make contact. See there? That guy's just going to make contact, and he's going to keep going. Forget about it. He's going to get the yards that he's going to get. If he goes down, he goes down. He loves contact. You got to love that about a football player.
You're not going to arm tackle this guy.
No, and some people are, a lot of the experts are saying this is the most gifted back in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think that says a lot. 1,400 yards on 157 carries, 19 touchdowns. Keep in mind, he shared time with Michael Carter.
Yeah.
This stat is huge. You're watching the hill. Here, Bill's showing it for you. He's running people over. 85 broken tackles. 85. 76 of those came as a running back. That led the nation. Nobody had more broken tackles than this kid in the nation. 25 catches out of the backfield, 305 yards, 3 scores. And his offensive line, believe it or not, they really weren't that good. They ranked 80th in the nation. Great speed. You know what that means?
Oh, yeah.
FGG likes this guy.
FGG.
That's her guy. Another guy with great speed. This is the guy that can hit the home run. Different sport. What that means is you hand him the ball, he'll take the entire distance.
Right.
He's projected to be one of the best by 2023. Think about that. They're saying that when this kid gets drafted, a couple years from now, they're saying he will be one of the best backs in the NFL. So 5'10", 225 pounds, share the backfield. He's big. He's strong. He's agile. Watch the Dolphins make a run for this kid. Niners, Falcons, there could be another one that are going to not let him get past them, and the Cardinals. But I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get past the Falcons or the Dolphins.
And
that'd be a great pick for them.
And you know what, Coach? And you're aware of this, and we'll make the people, our friends that are in the zone, aware of this if they're not already. This is how good he is that you've been discussing. With his success, he was a borderline Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yep.
That speaks very highly of him. The other thing, in 2020, he had 9 less carries, but over 200 more yards than the prior season.
Yeah.
7.3 yards per carry. Ladies and gentlemen, think about that. 10 yards will get you a first down and a slushy on the sidelines. This guy, 7.3 yards per carry. And in addition to that, he scored a touchdown every 8.2 touches. Kind of reminds me of you, Joe, back in the day. Amazing.
Yeah, he's better than I was, for sure.
A little bit.
This is one of those guys that wasn't highly super recruited. And I told you we would get into this at some point. So you say a guy with this type of production, Why wasn't he going to Alabama? Why wasn't he going to Clemson? Why was he? He wasn't a man yet. He didn't come out of high school at 225 pounds. Not all these kids come out ready to play college football the way they do. This is a kid that just kept getting bigger, just kept getting stronger, just kept getting faster. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
But if you think about that, these 17-year-old kids that come out, 18-year-old kids that come out, how much do they change? And a lot of these guys, I mean, realistically, a lot of these guys, they don't mature till they're 22 years old, 23 years old. This is a guy that came out, wasn't highly recruited, obviously was pretty talented, grew into his body, became stronger, and this guy is a beast.
Absolutely. You talk about a beast. Coach Joe, he's got the body mass. We talked about it earlier. One kid didn't have it. This kid has it. He's got the body mass to absorb that direct contact. He's got great balance, good quickness. He's incredibly dense. He's thick. Just a great compact runner. I guess the best way to describe him is like a bowling ball downfield. Once he gets going, he just knocks the pins over on his way to the end zone.
So this kid right here, keep in mind he shared carries. If he didn't share carries, that did help him physically to be able to do that. This is the guy that is literally number one, no questions asked. He's probably going to win the Heisman Trophy. We talked about Carter's stats that if this guy is a featured back, he's absolutely going to blow the nation up with numbers we've never seen before. But instead, he doesn't have to take the pounding. He's clearly the number one. He's probably the number one back. He's probably a Heisman Trophy candidate. He's going to be a good one. Remember this name.
Now, as far as the Packers go, you guys might want to think about something like this, because my understanding is Jones, there's a possibility Aaron Jones might not be back. What do you think about that, Coach?
I think the reality is that Jones is not coming back. What disappoints me about that is he's a great running back. Every time he gets the ball, he's going forward. He's hard to tackle. Every single carry, he carries it like it's his last carry. His mom and dad are both sergeant majors in the Army. He was raised well. He's a great teammate, great locker room guy. And some people doesn't like it that he wears his goofy glasses on the sidelines. But Aaron Jones is a phenomenal human being, phenomenal football player. I would love to see him come back to Green Bay, but the reality in the NFL is Aaron Jones came along in the 5th round. He led the NFL, not this past year, the year before, led the NFL in touchdowns.
Right.
He'll probably get a big payday. He'll probably get it from somebody else. Hate to see the guy go. You don't have to reach in the NFL. And the things that we're saying about these running backs, we're saying amazing things about all these running backs. The reality is nobody has to reach for these guys. None of these guys have to go in the 2nd round. None of these guys have to go in the 3rd round. Some of them will. You get great quality drafting guys in the 4th round, the 5th round, the 6th round. That's just the trend in the NFL. You get great offensive lines, and if they understand the game, and a lot of these guys they're going to do really well. Love Aaron Jones. Hate to see the guy go, but the reality is he's probably not going to be playing with the Packers next year. I'd love to see him stick around. He earned a great big paycheck. He really did. All he did was produce, and all he did was be great in the community and a great teammate. And his payday's coming, but I don't think it's going to be in Green Bay.
Yeah. Well, as a fan of the game, he put the fear in defenses.
Sure.
You had a plan for him. And when you performed at the level in which he did for the Green Bay Packers, you can wear what you want on the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's just my take on it. So So, okay, so that wraps up number 3, and that's going to take us to number 2 on Coach Joe's top 10. 6 feet 2 inches, 230 pounds, Najee Harris from Alabama. Coach, what's the word?
All right. So when I'm done talking about Najee, everybody's going to wonder, why don't I have this guy ranked number 1? And I will tell you, because this guy, he's absolutely, he's amazing. So SportsIllustrated.com, I read an article recently, and SportsIllustrated.com says that Najee Harris is a future Hall of Famer in the NFL.
Wow.
They said that, future Hall of Famer.
Wow.
As a junior, he rushed for 1,500 yards, 26 scores. You said his size there, 6'2", 230. You'd think a guy that's 230 pounds wouldn't move real well. This guy moves incredibly well. He doesn't turn the ball over. Another guy that 0 fumbles. They say that he has hands of a wide receiver. They've said that he has the best hands of any running back in this draft. He's big, but he blows through the holes fast, blows through them hard. He's not a great pass blocker. That's okay. You can find somebody to pass block for you. So Josh Jacobs is another guy that came out of Alabama, having a nice career, I believe, with the Giants. Derrick Henry, if you don't know who Derrick Henry is from the Titans, in any normal year, Derrick Henry deserved to be the MVP in the National Football League. He was just that good this year as a really big back. Aaron Rodgers won that MVP. That usually does go to a quarterback. But just for him to be mentioned as a potential MVP, I think he finished 3rd in that voting, says a lot. And they're saying that Najee Harris is better than both of these guys. This is a guy that when it's time to play football, he prefers the big games. He dominated in the SEC championship. He dominated in the semifinal. He dominated in the championship game. In the SEC championship, he also had 5 catches for 67 yards, 3 scores off of those, going play action, almost 4,000 yards and 46 touchdowns rushing, 80 receptions, so a lot as a back, 800 yards, another 11 scores. He runs the 40 in about 4.45 guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. As soon as you hear 4.4, it doesn't want to matter what that third number is. That means you are really a fast guy in the football field. He's not going to stay on the board very long. He's going to get drafted. Somebody's going to reach up and snag him right away, or somebody's just not going to be able to pass him up. Teams are going to line up to take this guy. Derrick Henry, as I said, who was an MVP candidate last year, just to give you an idea, keep in mind that they're saying that this guy's much better. All Derrick Henry did in the NFL in the last 5 years was rush the ball for 6,000 yards and 55 touchdowns. Najee Harris is projected to be better.
Okay, and we've got one more guy left on the board, and we're going to do that after this fine young lady.
Hello, everyone. This is Ivy's World, all the way from Kalahari Poconos in Pennsylvania. I would like to invite you all on POD's Sports Zone every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Philippine time. Please watch out for his Sports Zone, and thank you for watching, guys.
And that's Avy's World, which is the team leader of Team Bungisines. And thank you very much for the shout out, AV. We really appreciate it.
She's in Pennsylvania and might be one of the best states in the nation for football. They love football in that state.
Yeah, other than Michigan, of course. So, but you know what? Was that a line violation when she threw the ball? I saw a red light go on on the screen up there by the pins, but I don't know if that was, her first throw or if there was a line violation.
I saw the same thing. I'm calling violation.
You're calling violation?
That didn't count. I'm sorry. That didn't count. That was a violation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. Rules are rules.
Rules are rules. And speaking of rules, this guy knows them very well. He plays within it. He's we can talk about, this guy all day long, but he's also a great character, high character guy. He follows the rules, unlike check out the Rileys, who he doesn't have any respect for the rules, and then you got How to Hawaiian over there in Hawaii. He'll tell you he don't break the rules, he just bends them. So anyway, yeah, it's a messed up community, but we love them, don't we, Joe?
Yeah, and you described it perfectly.
Yeah, number one on Coach Joe's top 10, 5'10", 210 pounds, from Clemson, Travis Etienne.
All right, so Travis, pronunciation of this name is actually Etienne.
Etienne.
An E, a T, and an N. Etienne. What a great name for this kid. You talked about the character. I actually wore a orange shirt tonight because this is my pick. And I'm going to tell you why I had him number one, because by all rights, Najee Harris should be number one. But I'm going to tell you the reasons that I picked this kid to be number one. He's another one of those guys, college game day, week in and week out. They talked about turn your TV on, watch this guy. He's special. He's just unbelievable. So he was the ACC career leader in rushing touchdowns. Career leader for the ACC rushing touchdowns. Career leader for total touchdowns. He was the ACC Player of the Year twice. And the only reason he wasn't the third time, because that went to Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be the first player taken in the draft. Over 4,000 rushing yards, 1,000 receiving yards. He was a national champion. So this kid, this is the reason. One of the reasons I made him number one. He could have entered the draft last year. And if he would have entered the draft last year, some really good running backs last year in the draft, he very easily could have been drafted in the same spot that he is this year. Late first round, early second round. This kid stayed at Clemson because he wanted his degree. He said as a human being, that was one of the reasons he went to college. He wanted to get his 4-year degree. I love that, and I respect that. So not just a great player, but a kid that has high standards for himself. So he did lose some production this past year, but he also happened to lose 4 of the starting linemen that he had from the year before in 2019. He also played in a couple games this year where he didn't have Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be the first player taken in the draft. So teams lined up and just said, okay, Mr. Etienne, come get it. We're coming to stop you. So there was some production loss there. Not going to hold that against him. He had the most yards after the catch. Second in the nation for yards after the catch. This is a running back, folks. Only to another guy that's probably going to go first that we'll talk about next week when we get into wide receivers, Devontae Smith from Alabama. They call that YAC, yards after the catch. In the last 3 drafts, only 5 running backs taken in the first round have been as productive as he has, that have actually really stood out. This is a guy that I think is going to stand out, and you're going to see his name a lot. You're going to hear his name a lot. He's a 3-down player. This football player is going to be a nice addition for any team that he shows up on. He's going to push the other running backs to make them better. He's going to be, he's one of those guys that's going to study film really well and just work really hard every day in practice. And I have him number one, even though I realize that he may not be the first running back taken.
All right. With that, we're going to take you to the next segment of this program, the Feedback Forum. And Coach Joe, we have a question for you.
All right.
From layman's terms.
Hey guys, layman's terms here. Bill and Joe, I have a question for you. What running back do you think will fall in the draft early?
Okay, so Coach, Layman would like to know what running back do you think is going to kind of take a nosedive, or at least kind of drop in the draft?
So layman's terms, love your question. You phrased it so easily, like it's no big deal, just pick that guy. But it is a great question, Layman. Absolutely great question, because every year guys fall. Every single year. And we don't always know why. They fall at every position.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they fall because of injuries. There's injuries that we might not know about. There's off-the-field issues. Certain teams, they just won't deal with any type of character issue at all. So when I say character issue, a guy might slip past 2 or 3 picks or 4 or 5 because he cheated on a test. I mean, that might sound crazy. It might be he used marijuana. It might be when he did his interview with the team, he was too cocky or too laid back. And a lot of times these things don't always get out. So you always have those guys that fall. And I'm going to give you an example. I don't remember the quarterback's name, so don't hold that against me. But this is an actual story. There was a quarterback last year. Team was convinced they were going to take this kid in the draft, and when they were doing their interviews with him, one of the executives was bringing him up to the interview room, and they were in an elevator together. And whatever discussion took place in that elevator, before the elevator dinged for this guy to get off the elevator, this executive knew this is not the quarterback for our football team, and the interview was over.
Wow.
Just by the way the guy carried himself. So there's a lot of factors in that. So I love that question, layman's terms. I'm going to give you my answer now. So I'm actually going to pick Kalen Hill out of Mississippi State, and I'm going to give you a few reasons for that. A lot of guys opted out not to play this year, more so than we've ever seen. So that is one factor. Another factor that I'm going to give you along with that, I think he could fall because he had a suspension, and not a lot of details are out there about the suspension. All we know is that it happened in the locker room. Things happened in the locker room. It might have been minor, but he did have a suspension. That might be enough for some teams to go, we don't care what the suspension was. We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to talk about it. We're not going to deal with it. We're going to go to the next guy on our list. I would like to think that that suspension is just a great coaching staff holding kids accountable, young men accountable. I don't actually know what it is, but based on him opting out and not playing and the suspension, I'm going to go with Kalen Hill as one of those guys that could end up falling a little bit farther. And great question. Thank you.
Let's go look at some of the comments. The Hopster says, well done. Another great show, POD. I was laughing at some of the comments on the chat here. I love you all. Aloha from Hawaii. Layman's terms, great job, Bill and Joe. Hope to see another good one.
Hang on. Can you go back to that one?
Oh, sure. You bet. Let me, there you go.
It absolutely says, great job, Bill. I don't see Joe in there. So I'm just, I'm a detail guy. I'm a coach. You got to go with the details. You got to go with the small things, and the little things there that's missing. That's great job, Bill. So good job to you, Bill.
I was trying. I'm unlike Tom Brady. I was trying to inflate the football, not deflate it. But no, you had to go and deflate your football. You guys, So the moral of the story is this is the Bill and Joe show. POD Sports Zone. Throw my buddy Joe some love. Throw him some.
No.
But hey, there was
Hey, I'm the underdog. I'm the dark horse. I told you I will bite your thighs when you try to tackle me. I am that guy. So yeah, I know it's all about Bill. I know.
It's all about Bill. What about Bob? Let's go back to you guys. Hey, they threw you a lot of love in the live stream during last week's programming. I mean, they were falling head over heels over you. I don't know why, but they were. I was trying to say, hey, what about Bill? But no, it was all about Joe last week. Let's go back and finish this baby up. Kevin Kennedy, good job. There you go, Bill and Joe. Right there. Kevin Kennedy's got it. This was thoroughly researched, and I learned a lot. By the way, Shane Buechele is the son of former Texas Rangers third baseman.
Yes, I love that comment. I love bringing that into the show. I actually read that comment. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Love that type of detail.
Absolutely. Sean Williams says, such a wonderful show. This was pretty awesome. Good talk about everything on the quarterbacks, and well done by both of you, Joe, both of you. On the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks, I do agree with that. Of the middle quarterbacks is a little iffy. And, and he goes on just basically explaining about Justin Fields, he does agree with him falling back, etc. Hazy Cheesy, now she got a little bit confused in the stream, Joe. We were talking about tight ends, and it confused her. She said, I enjoyed this and learning a lot about American football. Great premiere, my friend. Okay. So let me ask you, what position group are we going to hit next week?
Okay, so really important. We're going to go to wide receivers. Last year, probably the deepest NFL draft for wide receivers you are ever going to see. For 7 rounds, 7 rounds in the NFL draft last year, there was wide receivers. And we talked a lot about them last year when we did the draft together. I had some of my dark horses, and some of those dark horses made rosters, scored this year. Specifically, Des Watkins, Philadelphia. I was so thrilled to see him score a touchdown because that was one of those guys. That was one of those guys I wanted Green Bay to bring in. Huge draft last year in the NFL for wide receivers. So we're going to stay on the offensive side of the ball, and we're going to go wide receivers.
Okay.
For next week. And unless you got something to say, Bill, about the wide receivers, people better be tuned in. They better be listening to what I'm saying, because what I'm about to say. So what we want to hear. So here's what's going to happen. I'm an intro guy. If I'm going to go out on the wrestling mat, I got to have music pumping me up. If I'm going to come out of the tunnel to go play a football game, okay? If that logo behind me, we all know the Michael Jordan logo. We all know what that means and how powerful that is. When the Chicago Bulls used to play, they turned all the lights down, and now for your Chicago Bulls. And the music was playing, and a lot of us know what that music is. Intro music. We want to know what your intro music is. We want to know. Send us it in Messenger and tell us why it gets you pumped up. Tell us why it gets you jacked up, whether you're going to do push-ups or you're going to go for a run or whatever it is you're going to do. Tell us why you love that song. And here's the deal. And I already told Bill before this started. I know this is the Bill show, but my intro music is AC/DC Thunderstruck. So if I don't get some Thunderstruck next week with the introduction is probably not going to happen. I'm going to have to hold out for a new contract, probably not going to sign my contract. So What is your theme song?
So you're going to be a no-show. What you're saying is you're going to be a no-show.
I'm going to sit out.
You're going to sit out.
I'm going to sit out and wait.
You're going to sit out and wait.
Music is powerful. Music drives us. A lot of sports professional teams have that introductory as they come out. Mine is AC/DC Thunderstruck. What is yours? We might not play them all. Tell us what it is. We can read them. That would actually do a lot for me. I'm driven by music. I love it. Let us know what your intro is. That's good stuff. And I might put it on my playlist for when I'm working out and when I'm trying to increase my speed.
FDG? Speed.
FDG.
Speed. So mine is Eye of the Tiger. That's mine. Eye of the Tiger. So
makes sense. Detroit Tiger guy? Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you guys and gals out there, just like Joe said, you can either make a video, record a video, send it to me in Messenger, or leave it your answer to his question below in the comments section. Joe, final thought before we deflate this football and slam the door shut.
So my final thought is running back, not what it used to be. People aren't going to reach for them and pay them millions upon millions of dollars anymore to play in the NFL. They're going to go later. Very valuable. They still do their part. And so this one's kind of tricky for us, but we really threw out some great ones for you. And I'm going to put it to Bill this time, since he is the captain of this ship, and he's the one that makes this roll. If you guys send us something on Messenger, you're going to tell us what your theme music is. Get me pumped up, get me jacked up. I'm going to put it on my playlist, and I'm putting on Bill. Bill, play them. Let's see it. The people want to know. The people want to know. So let's hear some of this theme music.
That's right. And I really impressed by you. You haven't changed after 20 years, after all these years. You even sold that captain comment with a straight face. Well done, Coach Joe. You never disappoint. Always a pleasure. And we'll see you all next Saturday on the POD Sports Zone as we count down the top 10 receivers. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Hello, folks. This is your old pal, Kevin Kennedy from Marvelous, Michigan.
Aloha, guys. This is the Hapsters all the way from Hawaii.
Hi, I'm Brian Rosepa, author of You're Hired, a guide to working in sports.
Hello, hello. Panoy Ahoy here from snowy Massachusetts.
Hi, Tim Desiak here, inviting you to join POD Sports Zone, 11 p.m. Philippines time with Bill and Joe.